Hello everyone, this is Jim Martens. I'm co-editor of Elliott Wave International's Currency Pro service. And one of the reasons I've used the wave principle throughout my career, now more than 30 years in length, is because it allows me to look for a limited number of patterns at all time frames. So I'm going to use dollar yen to show an example of exactly what I mean. Now, the wave principle allows for impulsive movements, those are movements with the trend, and corrective movements, or movements against the trend. We're looking at a corrective movement from the high at 125.85. That's signified by counting with letters. Usually we'll count a correction as an ABC, and that'll be a simple three-wave setback as a zigzag or the first wave of a larger corrective pattern. And in this case, that's what we're looking at, a larger corrective pattern. Notice that I've gone beyond C. There's a D and projecting an E after that. That means we're looking at a contracting triangle. R.N. Elliott gave us specific characteristics of triangles, and they are that they unfold in 5 waves, A, B, C, D, E. Each of those waves should follow a corrective path, which means we should be able to count an ABC or some variation of an ABC within each one. And in the case of a contracting triangle like this one, the range should contract as the pattern unfolds. Now you can see that we're about halfway or a bit past halfway of wave D. It's unfolding in kind of a complicated manner, but that's not important, because by looking at this big picture, this is a 2-week chart we're looking at, by looking at this big picture, it gives us a roadmap of where dollar yen's likely to go. We need to finish wave D, or better stated, dollar yen needs to finish wave D, which means there should be a push higher, but not above the end of wave B at 118.66. Remember that the range should decrease as the pattern unfolds. And then once wave D is complete, dollar yen should pull back in wave E in 3 waves, and it should end above the end of wave C. So again, this is on a 2-week chart. What I find, and that roadmap is quite valuable going forward. But what I find interesting about the wave principle, and particularly about this situation, is we look for the same patterns at lower time frame. So I'm going to switch now to a daily chart. We're going to take a look at, or pick up the count from that circle green wave A. Now remember, we're in a corrective recovery. There's been a rally, wave A. We're looking for a wave B and C that's going to finish that larger correction. Remember, corrections unfold in 3 waves. So when we look at the daily chart and we pick it up from that green circle A, do you recognize the pattern? It's the same pattern we were looking at on that 2-week chart that covered a number of years, but in this case we're just looking at price action since about the early second quarter of 2021. It looks again like a triangle. In this case, wave B makes a new high above the origin of the triangle, 110.96, but it did so in a corrective manner. Notice all the overlaps within that rise from A to B. And now we've had a 3-wave setback, which we've labeled wave C. So the market on this daily chart now is in the exact same position that it is on the 2-week chart at larger degree. It's doing a triangle within one of the subwaves within the larger triangle, because the wave principle is fractal. We see, again, this is what keeps me using, or this is why I continue using the wave principle, because it's a limited number of patterns. And again, Elliott details the specifics of each pattern. So here on the 1-day chart, we're looking for 5 sideways waves. Again, A, B, C, D, E. Notice it looks like dollar yen needs to go higher to finish wave D, and then again, there's going to be a setback to finish wave E of the circle green B. So we'll have an A, B, and then a rally very similar to E should follow. Now the triangle in this position is an important observation because it tells me quite a bit about dollar yen at the larger time frame. And that's what we're talking about in our updates in the Currency Pro service. And that observation allows us to get even more information about the future price action that we can expect in dollar yen. So I hope you take the opportunity to take a look at our analysis of dollar rates and cross rates intraday and daily and on a weekly time frame. So we're publishing throughout the day, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week.